First of all, Merry Christmas. Second of all, I finally saw Gravity. Now, I know I've not been uploading a lot of videos to this channel for quite some time, you know, occasional video here or there. That is going to change at some point, but for now, I want to do a quick video about Gravity because it's a film that has had such a huge amount of hype surrounding it, and it's one that I was really looking forward to seeing. Most specifically because Alfonso Cuarón, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, directed it. I love Children of Men. My first introduction to the Harry Potter franchise was Prisoner of Azkaban. Many people make the argument it's the best one of the series. So I was really looking forward to this. I'd heard loads of rumours that it was going to be like a sort of highbrow science fiction movie. Some people were saying, I can't remember who it was, but there were some people that had been quoted as saying, this is the best science fiction film of the last 20 years, hands down. And everything I was hearing about it, I also knew that the special effects were meant to be absolutely incredible. I was just like, yeah, I can go some of this. It was starring Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. I like both of them as actors. So I was down for this. I was down for this, but unfortunately, I was pretty underwhelmed. Underwhelmed is probably the best way to describe my reaction to the movie. Gravity is about a space disaster, basically, where you have this group of astronauts. They're trying to repair the Hubble Space Telescope from their shuttle. And there's some sort of catastrophe where a Russian missile is fired up. It hits a satellite, which spews out all this debris, moving at hundreds of miles an hour, maybe even thousands of miles an hour. I don't know. The physicists out there can tell me. And this debris basically knocks out everything in their orbit, and it's all about, will they survive? Is there some way that they can get back to Earth? It is fraught with tension. There's no doubt about that. That is the best bit of the film, is the amount of tension that's in this movie. I was sitting on the edge of my seat for the most part, but there was a lot that took me out of it as well. It reminded me of the Poseidon Adventure in a lot of ways. It was a disaster film in that mold. It's like one thing after another just happens every single time they try to come up with a solution. Something just comes in, steamrolls them, and just destroys that avenue for escape. And then there's the moment of despondency, and then, oh, what if we try this? And you have also that same feeling of claustrophobia when you were watching the Poseidon Adventure. By the way, the original Poseidon Adventure with Gene Hackman, not the one with Kurt Russell, as much as I love Kurt. So it does have this tension. It does have this these great set pieces, these great moments. It's just like one high octane moment after another, and I have to say the special effects are pretty astounding. When I watched the trailers, I was a bit kind of like, I thought some of the CG for the astronauts themselves, like their hands moving and all that, they looked a bit Homer Simpson. I think they still do, but that being said, anyone who's followed this channel for any amount of time will know that I am a huge advocate of practical special effects. If you can do it in camera, do it. But this is an instance where CG is appropriate. A lot of the stuff they couldn't have done otherwise, and it's really impressive. It really is. The special effects at no point really took me out of the film. They made me more involved in it, and that's really, when you look at the level of special effects that we've been getting in Hollywood recently, which hasn't been that great, it's a big achievement what they actually did. The direction is solid. Again, there's the creation of tension. The problem with the movie, there are two problems as far as I see it. First of all, it's dripping with sentimentality, and that is something that I was really surprised by. Now, some people have accused me of the same thing in the stories that I write, that they are a bit overly sentimental, and yeah, hands up, I can say that you know, I grew up in the Spielberg era, and there's no doubt that a lot of that has had an effect on me to a degree, but I think sometimes you can be too on the nose, and in this we have the astronaut, the main astronaut. I think her character name's Ryan Stone or something like that. She's played by Sandra Bullock, and this character has to have a personal problem to overcome. You know, minor spoilers, she's lost a child at some point. Now, you find out about that early on. And, you know, she is... If I hear one more time in a movie, let go. You've just got to let go. You know, get up, live your life. You know, if I hear that one more time in a film, I'm going to scream. You don't need to tell people that directly. You don't need to tell the cinema goers. You don't need to bash them over the head with it, and that's what Gravity does. It bashes you over the head with sentimentality. At the end shot, it was a weird thing. Like, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but there are elements in it where you feel uplifted, but then at the same time you feel kind of, it's a bit cheesy, and I just did not expect that from this director. I did not expect this to be really overly cheesy, and it was really cheesy and overly sentimental. That surprised me, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it to a degree, but the second problem is that a lot of people talked about it as being high science fiction. This to me is not really science fiction. I don't really believe that the tropes of that genre, if you want, that they are based in technology necessarily. I think that you can have a film like Gravity that is set in space, it's set around technology, but it doesn't really feel like a science fiction film. Not really. I mean, it's in a kind of the similar way that Star Wars doesn't really feel like a science fiction movie. Not really. People use that term science fantasy. And what I'm getting at is that normally when I hear that this is the greatest science fiction movie, when I hear that, I'm assuming that there's probably an allegory, there's probably a metaphor for something that we're dealing with now, and that it's going to deal with some pretty profound ideas. There are no profound ideas in this. The idea that you let go because something tragic and traumatic happens to you, yeah, that can be explored and that can be profound in film, but you get to a point where if any story is having to tell you directly how to feel, it's failing in its storytelling, and that's what Gravity does with regards to that. It doesn't have the, you know, I think maybe part of it is that I was let down because I was expecting a 2001. I wasn't necessarily thinking it was going to be as good as that, but I was thinking 2001, that's going to be something like that. You know, to me, the best science fiction film I've watched in recent years is probably Inception. That to me had the highbrow element of it. It was questioning the very fabric of what reality is, what our experiences are with it. It also dealt with grief and loss, and Gravity does too, but it didn't bash you over the head with it in the same way, in my opinion. So, would I recommend it? Well, first of all, it's a brief film. I think it's about an hour and 20 minutes long. So it's not a lot of time to invest in a movie if you're unsure about it. I would say this, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and I would watch it again. I would watch it again for those tense moments. But I wouldn't say that it's a brilliant movie. I think it's been talked up too much. And I just think it was unerring in its sentimentality, and just the way that was executed was very sort of ham-fisted for me. If they had done that in a way that was more subtle and maybe a little bit more ambiguous, then I think some of the emotional moments in the film would have been bigger for me. They would have been more impactful. So anyway, I would recommend watching it because it's a good watch. It is exciting. But don't go to expecting that you're going to see a seminal science fiction movie, because Gravity just is not it. Okay, that's all for now. I'm hopefully going to do some videos about Christmas movies and stuff like that. I will try to upload some more reviews soon, and at some point I am going to get back to doing my review and analysis series. I keep threatening to do the Hammer Dracula movies. I am going to do them It's just finding the time to actually get to that. Check out the Facebook page below. I'm going to go before my voice fails, if this video hasn't failed already, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now. Specifically because Alfonso Cuarón, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, directed it. I love Children of Men. My first introduction to the Harry Potter franchise was Prisoner of Azkaban. Many people make the argument it's the best one of the last 20 years, hands down. And everything I was hearing about it, I also knew that the special effects were meant to be absolutely incredible. I was just like, yeah, I can go some of this. It was starring Sandra Bullock series, so I was really looking forward to this. I'd heard loads of rumours that it was going to be like a sort of highbrow science fiction movie. Some people were saying, I can't remember who it was, but there were some people that had been quoted as saying this is the best science fiction film. But for now, I want to do a quick video about Gravity because it's a film that has had such a huge amount of hype surrounding it, and it's one that I was really looking forward to seeing. First of all, Merry Christmas. Second of all, I finally saw Gravity. Now, I know I've not been uploading a lot of videos to this channel for quite some time, you know, occasional video here or there. That is going to change at some point.